Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Tuesdays with Terica. Okay, so you see our background is a little different. We're changing our flow for this week. We are actually going to have some time that we're spending with Meggan Golden, and we're over here at Culture Elite Barber Studios. So for all you men who need, a fresh cut for the spring, summer, come on down. We've got something to show you. Hey guys, we're back. So we're here with Meggan and her model for the day, and she's going to just talk about what she's actually going to do to her client. How are you today?
Hey y'all, I'm good. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing great. Now, I don't want to disturb you, so I want you to just kind of flow like you flow,
Okay.
and let's just kind of get into what you do here in the shop.
Okay. Well, here at the shop, I am a barber slash cosmetologist. I've been doing this for about 16 years, and today we are going to do a haircut on my husband, and we're doing a mohawk style. We're not taking any length off the top because we're letting it grow out some, but we're actually going to change the back just a little bit, get it a little bit shorter with it getting warmer. So we're going to clean up his beard as well and get him all shaped up.
How wonderful. Okay, so as you're doing what you're doing, is it okay if I keep talking while you work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So as you have been in the business, how long actually have you been in the business?
16 years in May.
Really?
I think 16 since 2008.
Wow, I didn't realize it had been quite that long. So being in the business for that many years, you've kind of seen some shift.
Yeah.
What would one or two of the simple shifts be?
As far as the shifts, I'm gonna say pricing. You know, just
Really?
like the economy is going up, our prices are going up as well. As far as well, for me, I went up a little bit, but I didn't go up a whole lot. Just because the economy is going up, so why not?
Well, I guess it's a need because your products, you have to make sure your products, you have, you're in a studio, so the responsibilities for the studio, I'm sure, would kind of offset why you would need to increase in your prices a bit as well. And plus your skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over time we're always perfecting our skill every day. Once you stop learning, you might as well stop trying to be a barber because the field changes constantly. The new haircut is gonna come out. Someone want to try this. You got designs, so paying for talent and experience along the way.
I understand that. So it's not quite the norm for a female to be in this business.
No,
How did you choose this?
well, to be honest with you, I got into cosmetology because I really didn't want to go back to school. When I had my baby in high school, I had a daughter. So I looked in the book to see what was going to get me out of school the earliest. And cosmetology was so big of a field. I'm sitting here thinking, surely I'm going to find something to do. And I fell in love with cutting hair. Didn't have a passion for it. Most people that's in cosmetology, they grow up doing hair. They grow up, playing around with stuff. Not me. I can't braid. I don't want to braid. I just want to cut hair.
I think that is amazing. So it's a great alternative for somebody who wants to do something different. And it has afforded you a really good lifestyle and career.
Most definitely. I did cosmetology as a backup plan because I just wanted to have something to fall back on. And here it is. I make more money doing my backup plan working for myself than I have working for anybody else.
I
So I
gotcha.
love it.
That is amazing. Okay, so how was it when you first got in actually having somebody? Because men are they're a little funny about their hair too, like most women.
They are.
So when you're just getting started and you need somebody to practice on, what does that look like?
So when I first started, I used to practice on all the kids from the church. That was my practice. All the little boys, I would call their parents and be like, I'm in school, I need to practice. So I did that for a long time. And then as far as once you get working into a shop, a lot of people start at great clips. That gives you a little bit of the experience. So yeah.
I got you. I can't imagine having a, well, but you know, I guess a lot of parents was glad that you were able to practice on their kids because that saved them some money too.
Yeah, because
You,
I did it for free.
and you know, I remember back in the day, it wasn't as common for men to have a lot of self-care like they do now. What do you think brought that on?
Appearance, that to be honest with you, I feel like they see women doing all of these different things. Why can't they do it too? But of course, it'd be more manly, But everybody want to look good. If there's a little enhancements that they can do to make it look natural, then why not?
I think that's great because, you know, even though you're cutting your husband, listen, we're giving a disclaimer, this is his real hair, but I didn't realize men can also get weaves.
Oh yes, they can get enhancements to fill in. As far as men, you can get, if they're balding, they have man pieces. So it's just like, you know how women do if they're gonna glue down hair, a quick weave. It's like a quick weave for men. And then it's like a hair unit that you would put kind of on the hair, and then of course it's gonna take skill and talent, but you would have to blend that into the natural hair, and that can actually be quite expensive.
Wow. So what does a typical haircut look like?
You talking about cost-wise?
Cost-wise, yes.
Well, my haircut started $35 for adults. My kids' haircut started $25. Everyone charges different. For me, I feel like that's a good enough price for me. $35 with the experience that I have, and again, I'm still learning. And I feel like that's a good price for my clients as well. I don't want to be too high for them because I have some clients that actually get haircuts every week.
Wow.
Yeah, so it can be very expensive.
So you're doing haircuts, but you also offer some other services. So what are some other services?
So one of the other services that I offer is I do locks, retwists for men and women and children. I do beard treatments for my clients. I do add-on massages with the hand massager that I have. I do facials. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I like to limit the things that I do. The things that I do right now are pretty good. I like doing it, and being that I work for myself, I can determine what I want to do and what I don't want to do. So yeah.
You don't want to be too overwhelmed.
I don't.
Stretch too thin.
No, and one of the good things that I like about working for myself is that, like today, I woke up to a book schedule. Even though I had already blocked off time, most of the time, if I wake up, if I want to put in a break or something, I can. But some days you have those book days. So a lot of people don't realize that sometimes barbers, they'll eat at their stations, crackers, or, they might grab a bite to eat. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, our food is cold. Yeah.
Or you don't have any at all.
Yeah, or you don't eat at all.
So where do you see yourself in business in the next 5 years? If you had a dream for your perfect world for the next 5 years, what would that look like?
My next 5 years, I will still be cutting, of course. My schedule is probably going to be a little bit more limited. My dream schedule is probably going to be maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, off every other weekend or every 2 weeks or something like that. I wouldn't work all day like I currently do now. A barber schedule is crazy. Some people come in at 7 in the morning and don't leave till 7 at night. That's not me. I'll get here around about 9, and I'll probably be here till 6, 7 o'clock typically. But yeah, I don't want to work long days. I want to do like a 9 to 5 or a 12 to 7 or something like that.
So do you ever foresee yourself being in your own shop?
Now, I've thought about it, and long-term longevity, that is a great idea. But me personally, I just want to come to work and cut hair and then go home. Running a business is a lot more than just doing booth rent, what I do now. Running a business comes insurance, liability, you got employees, and that building is your responsibility versus just doing booth rent. This my area. This all I got to take care of. But I keep saying that maybe one day I'll have my own salon, but do I want that right now? No.
I understand.
I don't want to deal with it.
Okay, well, that's something to think about because in 5 years things can change.
Yeah.
Because your family situation will change. Your son will be a little older. You'll have a little bit more flexibility with schedules. so things may change. So we're just gonna keep that out there for just in case. Just in case.
Just in case. Definitely will.
So
It's
what
not
kind of
awful.
training did you have to do?
Okay, so I'm dual licensed. So I first had my cosmetology license first. I got that back in 2008.
And you went where for that?
I had to go to Greenville Tech. I didn't have to, but I went to Greenville Tech for about a year and a half. Once I went to Greenville Tech and got all the hours, because you have to have 1,500 hours for a cosmetology license. And then once you get those hours, you have to take a theory and you have to take a practical. And then once you take those and pass them, then they'll send you your license. And then for my barber's license, because I had been licensed so long for cosmetology, all I had to do was just go to state board and take the practical. And unfortunately, I failed it the first time. But I did pass it the second time, like a couple months later. And I will have my barber's license for 3 years in July. And also in July, I plan on going to go get my instructor's license.
Which is
for barbering.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So see, that's something in 5 years you might just want to teach.
See, and one of the good things is I actually help out at a barber academy currently. It's a school. I go down there every Tuesday, and I go down there to help the kids and teach them different haircuts. I'll have models come in for them and just show so they can get a visual instead of just watching videos and stuff, and they can ask questions. So I do want to be an instructor, and that's actually one of my other backup plans for when I get older and I don't want to cut hair no more. When I don't want to cut, then I'll be able to teach it. So
That's awesome.
Starting now.
I think that's great.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I think it's wonderful that you are not stuck in one specific space, that you do have multiple areas to kind of branch off into. And so for those of you young people who are not quite sure what it is that you want to do, this could be something that could actually be an inspiration for you. So, as Meggan said, she's teaching a school. Get some information so that you can know what might be possible for you as you're kind of searching for something different. So if you had to give some information to somebody who is actually considering, what advice would you give them?
Considering being a barber?
Yes.
Patience is key. Don't think you know everything when you first start. You have to be willing to learn, and you have to be able to also take positive criticism. Working in the barber field, sometimes I just want to go ahead and let my ladies know it's a little bit harder for us than it is for men. So you got to have a little bit more of tough skin. But yeah.
At the end, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it.
So, okay, guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and let Meggan show you what it looks like to actually do a beard trim. Hopefully it'll inspire you. Stay tuned.
So this is how he came in, and this is what we actually have transitioned him to. We ended up fading him all the way to the back versus the fade actually being a blunt stop right in here. This is what you call a burst fade. And this is just a regular fade all the way down. And what we're going to do now is we're going to clean up his line on his beard. We're going to do a straight razor on his line. And I'm going to do his mustache. I'm going to do all of that. So yeah. Typically, when it comes to the guys and their beards, they want that point right there. That is very, very important, okay? So we're going to put a point. And I get ready to do that point. I typically have my clients lean their head back. Oh, your head back for me, sir? Thank you. And basically what I'm going to do is, now that I see that I have that little point right there, I'm going to connect it and make it even sharper. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the razor on top. Now some people is sensitive when it comes to the actual razor itself. Some guys can use the razor and some guys cannot because it breaks off their skin. My husband is okay, so we're actually going to we're going to go ahead and shape him for his beard. But before I do the razor, I'm actually going to clean up his mustache first. Can you hold your head up for me? When you're cutting hair, a lot of times you have to look at points of the face as guidelines, and sometimes people's faces are not the same. One ear may be higher than the other ear, one eye may be slanted. It's different, it's a visual. Typically I use my mirror like crazy, but I've been cutting his hair for a while now. I pretty much got it. As long as I got lighting and I can see, I'm good. So here's my favorite part, putting that crispy line on them. If somebody tells you that they use that razor on somebody else, you should run. New razor every time, every client. You can hold your head back from me. I'm always looking in my mirror to make sure my lines are crispy and making sure that they're even. that ash line right there. Some people draw that line. They'll get a pencil and they'll draw it on their head, and then they'll use the razor to kind of smooth it, blur it out a little bit. But what they're really trying to get is that natural ash line from the client. And that's typically the shape that they want. I always ask the clients exactly what they want, but typically that's what they want, that shape. I do got to make sure his line is straight. Another thing sometimes people don't realize when cutting hair, gray hair sticks out more than black hair does. So sometimes it may look like your haircut is uneven, but it really is even. It's just that the white hair stick out more. And sometimes you have to take that just a little bit shorter. Let me get you to hold your head up for me. that's what his beard looks like completed. And for the back, we just gonna put a line on it so you can get an idea of what it typically would look like. Let me get you to sit up for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay, guys, I so hope you have enjoyed today's episode. I want to thank Meggan and I want to thank our model Brian for their patience and cooperation and helping us kind of spread the word about what barbering looks like from a female's perspective. So for all of you ladies who have a special man in their life, you know Father's Day is coming up soon. She's got gift cards available. Again, she doesn't just work with hair, the natural hair as far as cuts, but she also does the locks, the massage. She does a plethora of things. Give her a call. Let her help you during this time of the new coming season for Father's Day, okay, or whatever the special occasion may be. And as always, I'm Terica Talbert with Century 21 Blackwell and Company. I sponsored today's episode. I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get you some information so we can help support our up and coming businesses. That's what we're here to do. Hey guys, have a great week and we'll see you soon. Enjoy.